what is sunk cost fallacy and how you can overcome it, how you can combat it. This is gonna be this video's topic. Examples are gonna include Raid Shadow Legends, Era of Chaos, potentially Etheria Restart. I don't know about the latter one. But I have observed and monitored many content creators' activities around Raid, around past Era of Chaos. There is no other one at the moment who is continuously doing content, and also around Etheria Restart. And what I have seen in common, and also after talking to past content creators of multiple games, is that there is an inherent force that drives people to keep on going, and some of them feel bad for a while about not moving forward and not playing it every day. Most of these games are designed in a way that there are quests, daily completions. You do this, and by the way, Raid is not as toxic as it seems in terms of this completion because it's so easy. You use 50 energy, you win campaign, you purchase an item in the market, but this is something that you would purchase anyway. I could purchase the units too, that's easy. Then summon 3 champions, that's super easy as well. You summon once. You can even do a 10 pull, by the way, that's easy because it's just negligible. And it doesn't matter what happens here. By the way, this is intentionally designed in a way that it is painful to summon just 3 times, so you would prefer summoning 10 times and burning some of the resources. But let's say I'm patient and I'm just summoning 3 times. And those battles also, like I had to do 4 battles in total to meet all the requirements as well. So that was done. That would have been 1 minute more. Artifact accessory upgrade, that's easy. You click here, you close all, and start something that you want. For example, I don't know, protection, mythical gear, and then you upgrade to level 4. Very simple. I'm not going forward because I'm not incentivized to do so. Champions level 3 times. That's also super easy. You find a champion. And well, it's not actually not that easy because now I use a brew because there is champion training. Otherwise I would need to summon a level 1 champion or take it from the vault. Daily quest is complete. This is done. And do 5 arena fights. That's the most complicated one because you need to snipe normally. So you either lose your fights or snipe. So you do those 5 fights. Okay, let's pretend that you do it in 5 minutes, for example. So it's not difficult. And then you complete all the daily quests. Then you do the weeklies, the monthlies, and the advanced are a bit more complicated, but if you skip some, the world doesn't end. Let's put it this way. The world by far doesn't end. And even though some are time gated, you can still manage it. So it's not a problem. Sunk cost fallacy kicks in when you do these things not because you want to, but because you look at what you've collected over the course of the last months, years, and so on, and you conclude that it is not beneficial for you to stop this because you want to keep on doing your collection journey, because you want more of these types of champions like Cardiel, like Lord Entertainer Fabian, like Alas, like whoever else, and then you just keep on collecting your stuff because you want that second mythical animation or whatever else. Doesn't matter. Or you want to finish some content. This in Raid is not as problematic as in Era of Chaos. In Era of Chaos, this is magnified big time because you have a leaderboard in terms of strength in server and cross server, and if you skip just a day throughout a year, then it's a big disadvantage already. Because every single day you get something that is worth your progress on. And if a full day may cost you $100, $50, $200. In Raid, it is also bad in a sense that if you have events, for example, the Titan event, just there skipping one Titan event, like one event out of the Titan events that gives you, let's say, 300 points and you cannot complete the full Titan event. I don't want to either. I just want to stop at around milestone 4. I couldn't care less about April. I couldn't care less about others. I just do whatever I have to do to complete the basic things, and I've waved goodbye to April already. So it's just not worth for me, because if I collect it, then what else I would need to collect, and when will I be able to use any of my champions? And April is not really usable. That's just something that is in there. Is she a Bannerlord or what is it? Sacred Order, I think. I think either Sacred Order. There you go, next to Alice. Like, what's the point of collecting this champion? Like, what? Where would I be able to use it? And once you get the champion, then you have it, but why? You see. And there may be a time when you're in the Titan event already. You have collected 1200 points, and it's just a few more shards. You're so close. Or they may screw you in the Titan event, and they force you into pulling shards multiple times. And it's like, you let go of all your shards, but it's just you're missing 2 ancient shards, 2 sacred shards, or 2 something that like 500 points. And this is when they say, okay, you've invested so much time and effort into doing a Titan event that it's now just a few shards left. Come on, open your wallet, give me $100, give me $200, I'll give you all the shards, and you'll be able to finish the Titan events. It's your fault. You planned badly. So let me help you. Let's just overlook that this was your fault. And let's just say it didn't happen. Just give me a few $100. I'll give you those shards. You'll be able to finish the Titan event. Not a problem. This is sunk cost fallacy. You're so close to finishing it because you've invested so much. You cannot afford not to finish it. Maybe because in like 15-20 years ago I played poker, I have an antidote against sunk cost fallacy. You can see this right here. The Tholin Falbert Soul was available in a Titan event. And according to the best of my knowledge, I planned in a way that I could finish it. But then they, as usual, Plarium gives some twists. And that twist was that they increased the number of points in shard draining events like Summon Rush and Champion Chase, such that I had to get the larger number, not the smaller number, the larger reward, in order to finish the Titan event. And I figured out I wasn't that far from it actually. I didn't even have to spend $100 for it, because I still have to this day, and I think forever, as long as my account is not deleted, I will still have forever the purchase rewards. There you go. This is the first time I'm happy for a pop-up. Like ever. Because it shows you the purchase rewards, that of any purchase you need to get this. I'm not even here. I refuse to feed the raid machinery because of that. I just got to know it deeply as an insider more and more, because I was intrigued and I want to understand what makes it work and how it is working. And as you see as well, sunk cost fallacy may make you do some reactive purchases. What else does sunk cost fallacy do? A sunk cost fallacy, and this is more in an Era of Chaos thing, doesn't allow you to take breaks. Because if you just take 1 day of break, you may miss $100 of rewards, and the others who are behind you will catch up. This is the issue. And you cannot afford it, obviously. So there is no option. If you have missions, complete your missions. Come on, it's not an option not to complete your mission. We give you a steward, you will be able to complete 50-60% of your mission straight away. And the steward is for free. Maybe it will be a VIP feature once you got used to it, but right now it's for free. Complete your missions every single day. It's not an option not to do it. You have to do it, you're in the game. Otherwise you're a bad player, right? And then you have to compensate with money if you want to stay in the game. So that's the idea. And the question is, if you've invested so much, let's say for example 1.5 years old account, and you have had meaningful progression and you enjoyed the progression quite a lot, which is quite true with this specific account, and it's not that draining time-wise, at least until the developers introduce some content that is actually a monetization strategy disguised as content. There is no meaning, there is no progression, there is nothing. There is just either you do 100 battles or you pay for a VIP card, or you pay so much diamonds that you regret not paying for a VIP card. These are the options. Choose. And then what do you choose? In this specific case, once again, because I have an antidote against sunk cost fallacy inherently because of my past, I'm like, okay, I got blackmailed into a situation where there is no meaning in purchasing VIP card. If I purchase VIP card, I get blackmailed, and what else will end up in the game in the future for more monetization? I cannot let this, so for this reason, spending freeze. I know spending freeze for race quite well, so I'm doing the same, spending freeze for Era of Chaos. For this reason. So this is how I work, but that's not how most people work. But I managed to reverse engineer how you, if you don't have this antidote yourself, you can still reclaim your power, reclaim your choice, freedom of choice. And this is mind-blowing. We will see if ChatGPT figures this out. I don't know, but I have the answer. How can I overcome it? Relevant if you play a gacha game seriously or even casually. Let's unpack it carefully. Sunk cost fallacy is when you keep investing time, money, or effort into something just because you've already invested a lot, even when continuing no longer makes rational sense. Rational sense is like the game becomes more grindy, it requires more money to do the same things as before. I've already spent so much I cannot stop now, otherwise it would be wasted. All be wasted. It's a psychological trap. Confuses past investment with future value. So, that's why it's sunk cost. Sunk cost, it's gone. What you paid for in the past, it's over. You got entertainment value hopefully in exchange for past investment. So it's over in a sense that you won't ever get it back. So this is sunk cost fallacy essentially. In gacha games, chasing completion after partial investment. You pulled 80 times, PT is 100. It's not optimal to spend the resources now, but I want to get it, so I spend it now. Oh, next time resources are drained, so next time I won't be able to compete. Not a problem. We YOLO into it, we get the reward. Even if you didn't want it that badly, you're driven by not wanting your 80 pulls to be wasted. Typical rate. Let me just buy those shards so that I can get April. I don't know why April is good, but let me get April. Event progression, same thing. You're so close to the final reward. You're almost there. Emotional investment. All these things. Limited time rewards, festival rewards. There is a progress bar, festival shop. It's so close. There is intention behind you feeling sunk cost fallacy, so that you take the action that the game designers want you to take. This can be buying VIP card. This can be buying more shards. This can be buying or draining the resources from your account so that in the future, in the next event, you will feel FOMO and you compensate, you buy jump pack, you buy shards, you buy something else. I can show, and hopefully this is where I can be your role model if you want me to, although most people don't need role models, but if you think about conscious spending, then that's me. Okay. If you think about it next time that I feel like buying a gem pack because my account is drained, maybe your account was engineered to be drained. You get some nonsense reward that you cannot use anyway to make meaningful progress, but next time you will buy something so that you reclaim the resources on your account. It was not easy in Raid to get, if you know what Raid is, to get 2 champions, basically. One champion was Packmaster Shayak. The other was a fusion, this Crocod, the dog. So this Crocod was a fusion champion. I still don't have a soul on it because it was too expensive. Packmaster Shayak is basically I think it was a 17 yellow shard champion, 17 or 20, which is like more than $500 of value. In raid 1 champion is like $500 to $1,000 of value oftentimes. Just think about it. And once this event happened, I had zero almost everywhere. Like Sacred Shard, Primal Shard, Void Shard, Ancient Shard, all of these were like zeros. And I rebuilt this throughout the months when the turtles came in because I wanted the turtle team. Now out of those the turtle team, it was quite easy, without any shard investment basically, to get Donatello and Michelangelo, these two. But the other two were not there. And they are playing some drama intentionally to not tell us when they are gonna come and how they are gonna come. So I'm prepared for anything. I drained this thing as well completely. These 21 stones that you can see here were acquired one by one throughout the last few months. So it's hard work to get here, and sometimes it's meaningful work, sometimes it's less meaningful. The meaning I derived out of it myself is that I have a goal of completing some mission chain, and some of them are not that easy. And the other one is that I wanted to get a full turtle team. This is purpose and meaning that I still have, and it is connected to how you can break the sequence and how you can just give up. And how you can just not feel the sunk cost fallacy, in effect. I know that for me it is not an option to purchase a cent on trade, not because I cannot afford it, but because I choose not to afford it, because I don't feed the beast. So, you see all these powerful machineries and how to overcome it. This is the thing. Let's see if they figure it out. Reframe loss. Tell yourself, what's gone is gone. I learned something and that knowledge has value. The key is to set past investment as tuition, not debt. You paid in time or money, but what you got was experience. Very good, but unfortunately, your ChatGPT, this is not what people can rationally do. Some of you can, many of you won't be able to. And this is experience. Because in order to reframe loss, you have to accept that it is loss. In order to accept loss, there is a grieving process. You've either gone through the grieving process or not. If not, then you may still be angry, you may still be bargaining, you may still be depressed. You need to get to acceptance to enable yourself to reframe the loss. So I'm not just reading what ChatGPT tells me, I'm evaluating it this time and giving you the best of the knowledge that I have. In order to be able to reframe loss, you have to accept loss, and acceptance of loss is the 5th stage of the grieving process out of 5. Second, use a future value check. If I were starting right now from zero, would I still choose to spend this time money for the same reward? Sorry, ChatGPT, once again, this doesn't work. If the answer is no, stop, that's rational reset. This doesn't work. You know why this doesn't work? I've seen players go from VIP 14 in Era of Chaos, meaning how much did they spend? I can figure it out. Let's see. VIP. There is the VIP benefits. VIP 14 implies 150,000 diamonds spent. How much is 150,000 diamonds in dollars? You will be amazed. 150 diamonds divided by 60. Because that's how it works. They spent at least $2,500 in the game. Then they restarted it. Went to, I don't know if it was VIP 12 or 13, but at least 12. VIP 12 is like 40,000 diamonds spent. At least. If not more. Divided by 60, it's like already $700. In some countries, it's half a salary per month after tax. In some worse off countries, just think about that. So, those people, they start over again and they make sometimes irrational purchases. I just heard that there is a player I played against in a past server 1.5 years ago. He quit. He started again, he quit, and now he started again for the third time. He's reliving the same thing because certainty means good to them. And they make mistakes and they don't think along these lines. They know that the game is gonna become grindy, but they still try it. A couple of weeks ago, I told in the content creators chat that in Era of Chaos, apologies, there won't be a 2026 playthrough. I will continue doing event analysis as long as I see it fit, and then I won't. For me to make a 2026 playthrough and go through this type of experience, and with this we're gonna go closer to how you can accept a reframe and how you can make yourself independent from sunk cost fallacy. So to do this, and refresh this store 120 times without doing anything else, and also pop-up confirmation, so it's essentially 240 refreshes. To do this, just to get this currency, I believe that you have to be either a fanatic with a huge amount of meaning and derived from your activities in the game, or you have to be stupid. I don't want to insult anyone at this stage. Not you, I. What I think about myself. There is just one thing. If I start a new account that will end up eventually having to refresh this 120 times, I'm stupid. No person in the world, most likely 99.9999% of the time, would ever enjoy refreshing this store on a weekly basis 120 times. Yet, if you want to get ahead and get the first batches of the currency, you have to do this. And if you don't do this, look at your account strength. You're competing for the top. If you're competing for the top, you have to do it because others are doing it too. Sunk cost fallacy. And if others are doing it too, you cannot get left behind because you have invested so much. So you have to keep on doing it. Refresh it. Go here, complete the 100 battles. Oh, and by the way, once you're, I know it's draining, it's mentally draining. There is a lot of repetition in there. Let me help you. Buy VIP. We don't have to tell anyone. You buy VIP pass. I will manage that you will skip that repetitive content. Or we just increased it just to sell VIP pass. Let me not tell you this. This is content. You're a grinder. You can do it. You have sunk so much into this game. Your effort. So you have to do it. Right? This is sunk cost fallacy. And you see that I'm a bit strange in a sense that as soon as I detect sunk cost fallacy, I do the exact opposite, and this is a predictable pattern in me, by the way, of what I was designed to do. Maybe I bargain with automation, maybe I do something else. Or maybe I cut my losses and quit one of the accounts immediately, and this is what happened to the 2025 playthrough. Not during this new restricted domain event, but during the time when I realized that I have to refresh the shop. So actually this thing worked, that there is no way in hell that I would do this again, and I quit my other account. It worked for me, but this still requires some sort of a mental strength to go through it. And what works for me is these boundaries. These are preset and installed in me, but it won't work for you most likely if you are not the same type as me. I'll do only 30 pulls, I'll stop farming when I get to X, I do this, I do that. You know what the problem is with this advice? You need willpower. What's the problem with willpower? It's finite. Once it's drained, it's depleted, it's like a battery, you have to recharge it with something else. You won't be able to recharge it playing the same game that caused the frustration on purpose. So this, thank you for this advice, but no thank you, this doesn't work for the masses. Fourth, detach identity from progress. Once again, in order to get to VIP 14 and 15 and spend thousands of dollars in a game like this, I don't know what it feels like because I've never done this. The maximum I've done, let's see, let me calculate this, how much this account is worth. Let's see. I have the exact value. So, fine. Throughout the 2 years, I have spent exactly this amount, and this can be verified, by the way. So 10,360. Let's see. 10,360 divided by 60, $172. This is less than my iRacing subscription for 2 years. And this is approximately 2 years too. So when it comes to sunk cost fallacy, in terms of money, it's not much. In terms of time, it may be a bit more. Because I was looking forward to progression so much. Out of my interest on Might and Magic related content. Heroes 1 to 3 especially. But others as well. And I have unfinished business, so I still have some parts of Heroes 3 that are yet to be explored. That this is the amount. Now you know it, and I feel absolutely nothing about disclosing it. Like, some people feel ashamed of how much they spend. That's a Western conditioning. Some people are proud how much they spend because a successful person can afford to spend. And I'm like, listen, if I'm a successful person, I spend my money on real-world assets, including real estate, including stocks, including other investment assets. And why would I spend, as a successful person, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in a game, in digital pixels, currencies, that will be gone as long as I don't let myself blackmailed with sunk cost fallacy? What's the point? So in this case, I won't continue. This is all I've spent. This is not much. But some of you may have spent thousands, 5,000, 10,000. And it's possible. In Raid, it's possible to spend $1 million or more. It's possible that you can buy an excellent holiday home in some Mediterranean country or play Raid and let the game treat you like trash. So it is quite easy to detach your identity from progress if you spend 170 something like me. But it most likely won't work for you if your identity is linked to the game so much that you've spent tens of thousands and you still feel this FOMO every single day to complete all your missions, and you cannot give yourself just one day out, or maybe you can, but then you compensate it by purchasing another $200 of progression items. And you're good, by the way, at the game, and you keep on doing it. You just cannot afford to detach identity from progress. So this doesn't work. Perform a fun audit. Now we're getting closer, but it's still not enough. Of course you understand that grindy content is not meant to be fun. You know this, you still continue as play to win, it won't work. ChatGPT, you failed 5 out of 5 times, sorry about that. Recognition of game design triggers. Now this is also fun audit, game design triggers. All these things are great ideas, but it's not enough in itself. Many spenders know what is going on. Many spenders are actually quite smart people. Many spenders just have a problem controlling their addiction, controlling their habits, because once habits are formed, it's quite hard to let go of it. Many spenders just buy into sunk cost fallacy, and that's what we're trying to eliminate. We're still scratching the surface with this answer. It is not going to be what makes or breaks your addiction. What breaks your addiction is very simple. And why did I have to wait like how much? Almost 30 minutes to reveal the answer. It's not because of retention techniques. is because you need to know all this why anything that you've tried in the past doesn't work. And you also need to understand why this is a big problem, because ultimately we don't want to be blackmailed. So what will most likely work for you is what ultimately is also human psychology, and is the easiest fix to finish an addictive behavior in anything. Take away the meaning. Take away the goal. Take away the reason. And once you do that, once that reason is taken away and you know that there is absolutely nothing to look forward to, then you will let go of anything that you've invested in the past. Of course, you will rationalize that whatever purchases you've made in the past, it's for the past, and the past is the past. Of course, you can set boundaries won't work. Of course, you can examine your identity. Of course, you know that it's not fun anymore. And of course, the game design triggers you understand. At the same time, you need to have a specific event when you feel and understand that it is over. This far and not further. Some principle that you live by is violated to the extent that continuing playing will be more painful for you in the future than the pain of quitting right now, or the pain of not exercising the behavior right now. Now, if you continue playing but not with sunk cost fallacy, but you don't let yourself blackmailed, every single time you get a bit stronger and reclaims part of your old identity, or part of the successful identity that can say no to certain things. And this is part of the reason why I played gacha games. I understood from the very beginning that this is an addictive thing. But I also understood that since I stopped playing poker like 15 plus years ago, the only place where I can say no and where I can stay strong is corporate decision making. And maybe I need something to aid corporate decision making. This is not masochism of torturing myself to be able to say no to spending money in raid, for example, or spending my resources in raid, or collecting the shards and not getting any rewards or any resources in exchange. This is not about masochism. This is about training myself to say no. There are all these things. There is a temptation every single week, sometimes multiple times per week, to just blow away my shards. I'm certain that there is a temptation today. Let's see. Yeah, already figured it out. I never had a note, right? Well, it's just 15x chance, but maybe I get lucky. Maybe I have a 3, 4, 5%. A 15x chance means that out of all the possible champions, this is 15 times more frequent. But out of like 10 pools, maybe I have like 1 or 2% chance, and maybe I get lucky. Do I work based on luck? No. But maybe it's fun, and then I either win or not, and then it's gonna be over. And I say no to this every single week. This makes me stronger. It's not funny, obviously, but the progress itself, that I have a goal and I'm moving toward it, that makes me happy. When I play Raid, when I play Year of Chaos, I know that yesterday I was here, today I'm here, tomorrow most likely I'm gonna be ahead, and one day it can be half a year, it can be 1 month, it can be 1 year. I'm gonna reach this goal and I'll be able to quit. In that case, this is basically the idea. Now, you may say that you've invested so much and you're this close to the result, so it's sunk cost fallacy, that it is not worth quitting now, because the result is so close to where you are right now. And that's also sunk cost fallacy. You know how you can get rid of it. I've told you already. You're right now here, the goal is here. Take away the goal. Just understand that you don't want the goal. And just feel that you don't want the goal. That's when you will completely get rid of sunk cost fallacy. Whether you get the goal or not is meaningless. Take away the meaning. This is what Era of Chaos managed to do with the introduction of this thing, this restricted domain event. Because it proved to me this is not content, this is a monetization strategy disguised as content. Level 100 is super easy. Level 101 is impossible unless you have a 2-year-old plus account with some spending. No matter what you do. And this monetization engine is an advertising tool for the VIP card. Otherwise, you suffer every single week and you have to manually go through those 100 levels or spend an irrational amount of diamonds. It's intentionally designed this way. So I was looking for content, I got a monetization engine, and I'm missing the content. And then I figured out, this happened last week, at the time of recording, first. And the week before, this thing happened, the store refresh it 120 times. And I figured out one thing, and this made me reevaluate everything about all the progression. In order to be good at the game, it's not skill. It's not even just spending. It's patience. Willing to do stupid things over and over again, monotonously, without questioning. And if you're willing to do that, if the development team says that you need to do 50 push-ups and submit a video every single day, for example, twice a day. Actually, that would do good for most of you, not everyone, but for most of you. But let's do not push-ups, but you have to clap 50 times. Let's say, and you create a video, you submit it, you get diamonds. You do this tomorrow, clap 50 times, you submitted a video. Now we're in Discord event territory, but that's another story. Clap 50 times, record a video, get back. Then what would happen? In that case, you would be rewarded for something stupid that has nothing to do with skill. You either do it or you don't, and they give you more and more tasks to complete in exchange for rewards, so that you're tricked into making progress. And this channel, as well as all my gameplay activity, has always been about how to make skill, how to train skill in a way that with your skill you outmaneuver others who just have money or an older account but less skill. How to increase your skill. This is what my channel has always been about. But how to use some mathematics engineering to increase your skill. Now, how can I increase your skill to do the 120 shop refreshes? I can teach you macros, which I've done already, but you still need to be diligent enough to do this every single day, and this requires some real estate on the computer, because you need to show this. Not ideal, is it? And it's still stupid to do so. So, at this point in time, I figured out that the Era of Chaos game designers in the last half year, step by step, in baby steps, systematically gravitated from skill towards grinding, repetition, without skill, where skill doesn't matter anymore, just how much you're willing to mindlessly grind. And once this happens, something changed. And that completely took away meaning from pursuing the goal that I'm here, I want to be here. But wait a minute, it's not skill that gets there, it's grinding that gets there. So, but in a meaningless way, or money that gets there. If I want to substitute money, I can only offer unenjoyable grind. That's all I can offer. I cannot offer skill, because that's not skill anymore. And as soon as this happened, my values and principles basically told me it's time to move on. It's time to not pursue that goal. If you enjoy logging in, doing some of the habits that are already there. Enjoy it for the sake of that the game loop is still excellent, but don't pursue that goal. And from then onwards, you can tell me any sunk cost fallacy, you can tempt me with any offer. I have control. Is the content good? I play. Is the content bad? I skip it. Others get better in terms of power. Not a problem. I don't mind. I don't need that goal anymore. I don't want it. My skill is a reflection of how good the game is. This is the new rephrasing. And as soon as I made it clear, there is absolutely no doubt that I stop basically pursuing a goal that maybe one day in Dragon League I will catch up. I had a strategy for it. I mean, I think my team is strong enough, by the way, in EU 267 to get to Dragon League, and the 256 is not bad either. Like the finals, one day. With a 100 to 200 investment, like 1 to 2 heroes for half a year. That's the maximum I can do. But what would it prove? It would prove that I was stupid enough to grind all the way to that. So this is the idea. What happens if you haven't discovered this lack of meaning in the end goal that you're pursuing? That the whole thing is empty. And this emptiness, that you have nothing to look forward to, you take away your future. It's basically, it renders all your progression meaningless. And then you're not affected by sunk cost fallacy. How can you engineer it yourself? And the answer is surprising. It's called the Dickens pattern. How can I use the Dickens pattern to engineer a future where I have nothing good to look forward to if I continue playing this game due to sunk cost fallacy? This is really deep. You may need to have a professional help for this. So accept that professional help if needed. I know how to do a Dickens pattern, by the way, myself, if I needed it. But I never needed it because the Hero of Chaos development team did it for me. It's so funny. I can be grateful for them. So how if I continue playing the game due to sunk cost fallacy and not due to enjoying the game anymore? How can I do this? That's the big question. And if I take away the meaning of what goal I am pursuing, why I am doing the whole thing, will I be immune to sunk cost fallacy? And that's the next question. The answer is gonna be surprising. Yeah, always excellent, thank you ChatGPT. This is an advanced and very self-aware line of thinking. You're describing psychological self-inversion that uses the Dickens pattern from Tony Robbins' framework inspired by A Christmas Carol to reprogram emotional associations in the case. Actually, it's not. I think he stole it from someone else, most likely, but I cannot be sure about it because Dickens pattern is not his work, not Robbins' work, but it's basically used by other NLP people. But other NLP people and him, if he calls it neuro-associative conditioning and not neuro-linguistic programming, fine. It's because of branding and patenting. Like, I don't mind about it. I mind about the idea. In this case, to dissolve the sunk cost illusion in a game that you no longer enjoy. Let's go step by step. What is the Dickens pattern? Let's see. It works by confronting the cost of staying in the same place and the benefit of changing. This is a contrast. You need to feel it emotionally and vividly. It uses a time travel visualization. You know, there in the Christmas Carol, there are ghosts that visit you. Past, present, and future. And it's especially about the future. So recognize the past limitation and feel the pain of the limitations. And just visualize what it will be like if it goes on for another year, another 2 years. another 5 years. And here is a kicker. Another 10 years. Just imagine that. 10 years of pain. 10 years of compulsion loops. 10 years of pressing claim 21 times. 10 years of VIP card. Or 10 years of 100 battles. Or even worse content because it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. This is rewiring emotional leverage. Once it is painful enough, and I mean, it can be so painful, that if you haven't grieved the situation and you're still bargaining why this game is so bad, why it cannot be better, maybe, just maybe, you will start crying. Who knows? Not a problem, no one else will see it. But it's not impossible. It's really not impossible. So until you're unconscious, lets it go. I call it unconscious, some people call it subconscious, like there is a bit difference in it. So actually this is not a correct description of what I want to illustrate. It's about the future. You see, 1 year from now, 5 years, 10 years. Just feel the pain, the stagnation, everything else. And once the pain becomes so unbearable that on the spot you've created enough leverage, and it's always about leverage, to take a decision because your life is just gonna become unbearable in 10 years in the future. It's just not gonna be a possibility to continue moving on. Are you feeling old, or are you old already in that case? Will you develop some heart disease, obesity, some other symptoms, back pain, because of grinding, financial problems? Will they fire you because you don't have enough time for work because of grinding? Sooner or later you will figure all this out. And then comes the change. Number 4, alternative future. Visualize another path. You decide that the best time to break the cycle is now. You cannot go back to the past to break the cycle. You can break the cycle right now. Imagine that you stop now. Uninstall or limit those limitations that are not reversible. An irreversible limitation. Uninstalling doesn't work, and even like deleting in RAID, for example, takes 1 month until they effectively delete it, because you can claim your account back in 1 month. And then the sunk cost is a completed chapter. You explore some other games with purpose. By the way, Olden Era deserves it based on the user interface, 100%. Create something, like create your own game, learn, so do something else. Just find a new, it's quite easy to find a new direction. Anything is better than the current one. And then fast forward it for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And just contrast the two. But once you get to the good 5 years, 10 years, and you see how you prosper, how your life changes so dramatically compared to the current one, then imagine that this whole thing is taken away from you. Just imagine that. Like as if there was a rubber band that just starts taking away from your future. And it pulls you away, and it pulls you back to the bad one. You take it away. And you have to keep on grinding, do the 21 completions. It will fail. Just even try it. Like, do this nonsense, like missions. Claim. After enjoying all the good future, do 10 claims, 15 claims. Imagine what it would feel like in Olden Era to claim every single mine's content every single day. Just imagine that. And also click on the chest. Don't forget about the chest. You're a good player. You have to get all of these things. Just imagine this. And if you still haven't thrown up, maybe you will have stomach problems. This is why I'm saying maybe do it in a controlled environment with a coach, a trainer. I'm not a certified trainer. There are certified trainers out there. Just tell them what you heard and what you want them to what you want them to break the cycle, and or call a friend where you have sufficient trust that you're not self-conscious about all this. So once this is taken away, you will feel extremely bad. And then you imagine that a rubber band is actually a rubber band that can teleport you into the good future even if it's taken away from you. And then you've made a decision and it's over. Nothing and no one can get you back into the old habit, the sunk cost fallacy or anything. Now, this is not true that this is a once and done change. If the leverage is strong enough, like the leverage was for me when this stupid, idiotic, like restricted domains was introduced, like this level of leverage that violated anything I stand for. This was like the biggest insult a player could ever get. And I'm not saying this because of an ego situation, that it's not about me. It's about principles that I believe in. And those principles got violated. And the damage became irreversible. This is what game designers risk if they join the dark side and experiment with too many dark patterns. Tough luck. Don't worry, content will still be published. So whatever I've done, I will continue publishing it because it's recorded, and maybe it has some people, and maybe after this it's irreversible for me, it's not irreversible for you. It may still be a good game in the future, and they may still have drawn their conclusions after losing Gorax, after losing Hate, after possibly losing me, and maybe they will get rid of the dark patterns. I wish them the best of success, best of ethical success, because even if the damage was done with this game mode on some level, even then the core mechanics, the basic game loop, everything, it's excellent. And it could be so much better if the right people were in charge. So transference of meaning, you reassign it to something real. Immunity formula. The past doesn't define you. The decisions and the actions you take, that defines you. And if it's sunk cost fallacy and you want to choose the bad future, go ahead. If you want to choose the good future, go ahead. The decision is yours. It gives you back control irreversibly, assuming that you condition it. Because if you do it once, you pretend that it's working, you enjoy, but then life comes in and you have to click for the everyday completion again, and 90 days you may fall back if you don't condition it. It's just like chords of a piano, you have to condition them. So be careful with them that it's not a once and done thing. You may develop this again. So this just gives you back control over saying no to sunk cost fallacy. And the new direction needs to be meaningful, because if you substitute something meaningful with something worse, you will enjoy the something meaningful a lot more, and you will be a lot more productive, a lot more effective. In my case, I have some ideas of what this is gonna be, and I will possibly slowly or more quickly repurpose this channel to that. It may still be very useful, extremely useful to Era of Chaos players. Maybe you can even use it to keep on playing and get better at the game in a more conscious way. So this type of repurposing could be there. But this immunity formula is gonna work because you can redirect your energy into something more meaningful after all this suffering. Now, the reason why I never had to do the Dickens pattern, obviously, is restricted domains eventually, and the 120 store refresh and all this nonsense. That's understandable, that's fine. But at the same time, for this to happen, you have to have certain principles and you have to align with those principles, and those have to be more important to you than the game itself. And it is more important to me, obviously, and you see that I never had to do it. That's why I recommend that if you struggle with the new direction, and if you struggle to acknowledge the sunk cost fallacy, do a Dickens pattern. That's what I would recommend. You can ask for a script, by the way, even from the AI. Sure. Go for the script. But it doesn't know what I want to do, so it's not good. And you see, setup, past. You ask yourself, answer. Maybe you record it, you hear it, but some people don't like hearing their own voice because they don't record videos on a daily basis. That's understandable. I don't necessarily like my voice either. I'm just indifferent to it. So it's not I like it, I dislike it. It's good enough. It serves the purpose. Now, then you see, pause, don't be Joe Biden, by the way, so don't read pause. 4 more years pause, that's what he read. And he would have had to take a pause. Thanks to Biden, democracy was in a lot worse shape afterwards. Because he was a really effective leader, by the way, had a really effective administration, but a really bad optics. They did a lot of things, but people didn't notice. And they did bad things too, I understand. Alternative future, what I change now. And optional closure ritual. So you see, it's quite good, and then you ask them to rephrase, okay, I want to pursue this, please change the script. You can do a lot of brilliant things with AI. Now, don't make AI your therapist, it won't work. It's stupid. But with a script like this, if you're in control and you want to get the script, and you can even ask, for example, Google Translator or someone to read this for you, because there is some voice module somewhere as well, you can do it. And then you will have different types of voices, try out the voice that you like the most. But be in control, that's the most important thing. It's not like let others operate on your psychology, you don't want that. In a way that without you controlling what you want. Or get a certified person to do this. So that's what I would recommend, and then you would get back control when it comes to sunk cost fallacy, and over time you just won't care. And you don't have to go through 6 years of playing poker when every single pot presents a potential sunk cost fallacy when you invest after the flop or before the flop that you cannot fold because you have invested so much. Live, online, I've learned all these things back in the days. It's easy for me, it may not easy for you if you don't have the same training, but this will get the job done.